with your demographic information. A lot of it seems to make sense, but you say that they need to be having issues with the ability to have clean air and water, an income of minimum $50,000. I'm assuming that's just for the air filtration ones, right?
Yes.
Because the other ones you're selling to organizations.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, that makes more sense. Why did you choose the countries that you chose?
Well, with the countries that we chose, there were a lot of cases of just bad air or unbreathable air, and we really looked at it and thought, we have an idea, we can fix that. Same with the water. There were problems like with Flint, Michigan. If we could get our product up and running, we'd gladly help them out.
Why didn't you target towards China? You have larger population. You have huge air pollution problems.
They did say China.
They say China?
Uh huh.
Yeah.
China,
Yeah.
but why not Japan?
Parts of Asia, Eastern Asia. Well, it says parts of Eastern Asia on their geographic
Okay,
information.
so you're planning on expanding. You're starting in China, but planning on expanding.
Yes.
Right.
Who are your competitors?
We have two main competitors, which is Honeywell and
Guardian Technologies.
Guardian Technologies.
You know, what makes you different from them?
Our products are solar paneled, and they have a compact, portable design, and it also is. That's it.
Do you have a copyright or a patent on this technology?
We are planning a patent for both items, the revolver system, pump, and the air purifier.
Would part of my investment today be used for that?
Yes.
And what would the other part of it be used for?
Manufacturing and marketing.
And have you talked to manufacturers yet?
Yes.
Who are you potentially thinking of working with for the manufacturing?
Well, there are there's a lot of manufacturing plants around.
Mhm.
Well, we're trying to find the cheapest way possible, but at the same time we're trying to find a manufacturing plant that we can produce our products with in time and making sure that our products are in the best quality possible.
Without causing harm, like getting rid of, I don't know how to phrase it, getting rid of harmful things to the earth.
What about when you're thinking about this manufacturing product, have you thought about selling this offshore to have them manufacture overseas, or do you want to keep it here in the United States?
We think that it should go offshore as well as in the United States, because with the manufacturing offshore, we can get to a lot more places in the world.
Initially, where do you want to set up your manufacturing headquarters?
We would probably have it here in the U.S.
Where in the U.S. though?
Probably somewhere in California.
Why?
Well, in California, in Silicon Valley, where a lot of technology is shared and manufactured, just so we can have the resources of Silicon Valley.
But we're talking, what's the tax base in California as far as companies? Corporate taxes.
Well, it seems like it's pretty expensive there, since there are so many companies being there. We feel that our company may be able to afford to be there because we have a mission to help others, and if we can have enough funds, we can probably be one of the top companies there.
So in this day and age, the idea of I'm just questioning the idea of being physically in a state where there's a lot of information, true. But in this day and age of Skype and FaceTime and conferencing and I'm just wondering if you need to look at the idea of starting it in a state that has very low corporate taxes.
Would you be willing to move to not base it out of California based on our concerns?
Yes.
Yes.
You're not tied to that idea?
Have you spoken with the Red Cross and the World Health Organization about your ideas? And if so, what kind of feedback have you got?
I contacted the Red Cross. I sent them a message about how they do with providing water and all that stuff. They said that they have an idea of probably giving water purification systems, but at this time there's like not enough funds right now to afford them. So right now their main focus is basically give essentials such as water, like water bottles right now. So, but I have contacted the Bill and Melinda Foundation, although they haven't gave me back a message. So that's still.
So you're pursuing some kind of grant funding in order to make it more affordable?
Yeah, something like that. Yes.
What's the longevity of your product? How's it stand up? How many years will it last?
Well, our water purifier will probably last about 15 years, 16 years.
And how do you know that?
Well, we're planning on using aircraft grade aluminum as well as a few titanium and mostly steel.
So how would that affect the cost to produce a unit? And what is the cost to produce a unit?
1 unit of the water purifier is, I think, about $1,000.
You said 2,500 earlier.
That's the whole system.
Okay, so just the water is
Just the water
1,000.
purifier
Yes.
portion.
But how does that make sense? Because if just the water, this must be the solar panels too.
Yes.
1,000 for the water, 25 for the air, and then the rest is solar panels.
Yes. And we also put a lot of air because, so we can cover a lot of ground.
Got it.
I have a question about your valuation. Originally in your pitch, from what I understood, that you had said that you were asking for $50,000 for a 10% stake, but then you said later that your company is valued at $155,000. If you ask for $50,000 for a 10% stake, that would be a valuation of $500,000. So which is it? Is it 150 or 5, or is it $500,000?
I think they gave you the profit of their company as the worth of the company,
Okay.
which is not accurate.
Oh.
So which is it though? Is it
500,000.
500.
500,000, not 50,000?
Yeah.
But you're asking for 50,000
Yes.
for an investment.
Okay.
How do you plan on marketing?
Well, we were gonna put posters or ads in apps, web apps. We're also gonna put posters in hospitals and charity funds.
We will
If I'm
also
living in a refugee camp, how am I gonna see an app?
Well,
And how am I gonna be able to afford this?
we're not selling directly to the refugee camps. We're selling to the organizations to give to the refugee camps.
Have you spoken to any local government officials about the product?
Well, I've spoken to North Carolina State Senator Floyd McKissick, and he said he would try to get in with the government and see what they could do about it.
What about your home product? Is that, where does that go in my house? Is it just like a fan that runs, or
Yes, and you can put it anywhere in your house.
will it filter the entire house or just the room that it's sitting in?
Well, right now, we just have the technologies for the room, but we're working on a patent for something that can filter your whole house.
And how does it differ from a regular air purifier that I can buy from like Bed Bath & Beyond?
Well, a regular air purifier really only gets things like dust and small particles. Ours, it catches things like bacteria in the air, as well as smaller things. Like we're trying to work on something to catch something as small as a virus. I don't know if that's possible, but we're working on the technologies for it.
Why are you working on it if you don't think it's possible?
It's not that we don't think it's possible, it's just that we don't know it's possible.
Are there any other accessories that you can create a revenue stream with?
Well, with the APS system, we are going to try to sell things like sinks that can connect with it, water fountains, as well as we want to come up with a water bottle that can also filter water.
I think that's been invented though.
I think they're talking about packaging it with.
Packaging with-
Mhm. Well, unless there are other sharks who have significant questions.
Yeah.
I think I've heard enough to make a decision. I really like the idea. I think it's got a lot of potential. You guys seem to have done a fair bit of research, have a pretty good sense of your own product. I think you need some help in terms of marketing and getting it to the right people who are going to be able to help you manufacture and help you sell it. I really like the sort of social responsibility, global citizenship aspect of the product, and I'm willing to give you what you ask. I'm willing to do the 50,000 for 10%. So that's my offer. You guys are gonna have to accept my guidance in terms of getting you up and off the ground, though. If you take my money.
I think what you're doing sounds good, but I'm gonna be frank. Being nice socially doesn't make money, and that's what we're here all about, is making money. So, I'm out.
I really like what you guys are doing. I think that you got good ideas. You're bright young gentlemen. You seem to have a pretty good basis for what you know of what you want to do. But I think you're undervaluing your product. I think it's going to be worth more than $500,000, especially if you get the Red Cross and the World Health Organization to buy in. I think if you can get their support and get one of your, I'm really interested in the larger system for that piece. And then I do like the idea of the smaller home piece, but really the larger one's what truly interests me right now. If you can get their buy-in, then I think that would be great. So here's what I offer. I'd be willing to offer you $100,000 for 25% of your company. But this would be contingent upon if you guys get the deals with the Red Cross and the World Health Organization. So I'll work with you guys to help you with your pitch to them. We'll make the right contacts with them. But if they don't buy in, then I would be out. So you have to realize my offer in comparison to Ms. Anderson's offer is not necessarily a guarantee. So you'd have to figure out if you feel they would support your product or not. But we don't know what Mr. Glenn has on the table also.
You guys have a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. The issue of water is something that it's a big concern, and it's a personal issue, and it's an issue that I have invested in the past. I also have connections with government contractors. Now, the individual units, I'm not very interested in that, but I really do believe that you are undervaluing yourself. I do believe that it's going to take more money than that to get your company off the ground. So I am willing to give $250,000 at 50% of your company. But I will offer you guys an opportunity to buy back some equity in your company.
Would you be willing to go down to 45%?
I would.
Time is ticking, gentlemen. What do you want to do?
Wait too long, some of these offers are gonna disappear off the table.
Might.
All right, Mr. Glenn, we have a deal.
$100,000 at
45%. 250,000. 50?